Why are there so many different and complex species of plants in the world? According to current statistics, there are about 400,000 species of plants on the Earth, including about 100,000 species of lower plants. There are so many species that today's books on plant taxonomy have not yet fully documented them, and new species are constantly being discovered. How did this large number of plants come about? To clarify this question, it is necessary to understand the simple history of the development of plants on Earth and how plant species are formed. Research in geological history tells us that plants appeared on the Earth about 1.8 or 1.9 billion years ago. The first plants were extremely simple in structure and poor in variety, and lived in water. The environmental conditions on land are significantly different from those in water, and the living conditions are diverse and highly variable. What the climate change, what mountain building movement, what glacial movement, what volcanic eruption, what seawater immersion, etc., really the sea change a lot. Local changes occur even more frequently. The original form and structure of the plant body, without transformation, cannot adapt to the needs of land life. For example, when plants live in water, they use the entire surface of their bodies to absorb nutrients, while on land they need special organs to absorb water and minerals from the soil on the one hand, and carbon dioxide and oxygen from the atmosphere on the other. In water, plants do not need specialized mechanical, protective, transport and other tissues. On land, however, these tissues become necessary for life. Therefore, many of the characteristics acquired by plants in the process of adaptation to life on water are significantly altered and complicated in the process of adaptation to life on land. The development of plants on land is accompanied by the appearance of roots, stems and leaves adapted to their structure, and finally flowers, fruits and seeds. The further development of the plant kingdom follows the path of adaptation to this new and more complex living environment. As a result of the long evolution of plants, the diversity and complexity of the plant kingdom has arisen. However, many factors have contributed to this situation, the important ones being these. First, during the evolutionary process of plants, it constantly struggles with external environmental conditions. The environment is constantly changing, and the morphological structure and physiological functions of plants are bound to follow corresponding changes. In the course of the history of change, some plants cannot adapt to the changes in the environment and are eliminated, while others are retained and continue to exist with mutations that are conducive to survival, but they are no longer exactly the original species, but new plants. Second, geographical isolation occurs due to certain geographical impediments, such as the existence of oceans, large areas of land, mountains and deserts, so that many organisms are not free to migrate from one area to another, so that populations on the east coast of the ocean are isolated from those on the west coast. Isolation gives different populations the opportunity to accumulate different variation under different conditions, resulting in morphological differences, physiological differences, ecological differences or chromosomal aberrations, and so on, which also gives rise to reproductive isolation. In this way, new species are formed. Third, under natural conditions, plants have also produced new types or new species in the plant world through mutual natural hybridization or long-term human cultivation. Today, in different living environments such as oceans, lakes and marshes, north and south poles, temperate zones, tropics, hot deserts, and cold mountains, we can encounter a variety of different plants everywhere, and their external forms and internal structures, as well as their colors, habits, and reproductive abilities, are extremely different. For example, plants growing in desert and arid areas are generally short, fleshy and pulpy, and their leaves become needles. Like cactus plants, plants growing in high mountains are generally short and covered with hairs. All these show the diversity of plant adaptations to the environment, thus creating the diversity and complexity of the plant kingdom in all its forms.